This is an ascending triangle, and it might be the most powerful breakout pattern in the market. It builds pressure, higher lows, same ceiling, over and over again, until finally, it breaks. Today we're breaking down the ascending triangle, from entry to variations to the failed breakout most traders don't see coming. An ascending triangle at its core is defined by two things: a flat horizontal resistance level connecting a series of equal highs, and an ascending trend line connecting the higher lows beneath it, showing that buyers are becoming increasingly aggressive with every pullback. What the structure tells you is that the sellers are consistently defending that resistance level, but they're losing ground. Each time price pulls back, buyers step in earlier and at a higher price. That's a sign of mounting bullish pressure. One important detail to get right: for a pattern to qualify as an ascending triangle, the highs must be approximately equal. Price is repeatedly testing the same resistance ceiling without meaningfully breaking above it. If price is making higher highs instead, you're likely looking at a rising channel or rising wedge, two different patterns with different implications, which we'll be covering in future videos. If the initial impulse leg leading into the triangle is bullish, meaning price trended upward before this pattern forms, there's a high probability that the breakout will continue in the same direction. However, if buyers fail to break above resistance, price can also break down below the rising supports, turning the structure into a failed ascending triangle. As for the projected targets, we measure the heights of the triangle at its widest points, from the flat resistance down to the first higher low, and project that same distance upward from the breakout level. Now let's take this to the chart and walk through some real examples. Alright, the first setup we're looking at is a clean ascending triangle on gold. The overall structure is bullish, with price forming higher highs and higher lows before entering consolidation. That tells us buyers are already in control. Price rallies into the 3,400 area, which becomes a clear horizontal resistance level. Price gets rejected at this level multiple times, while the pullback forms higher lows, creating a rising trend line underneath price. So we end up with a classic structure: flat resistance on top, rising supports below. Eventually, price breaks above that resistance with strong bullish daily close. The close is the confirmation that buyers have finally taken control. That's where I would look to enter, with invalidation placed below the most recent swing low. From there, we measure the heights of the triangle from the resistance down to the first higher low and project that distance upward from the breakout points. That gives us the measured move targets, and price continues strongly higher from there. Now here's an important confirmation many traders overlook, which is volume. During the consolidation, volume stays relatively quiet, but on the breakouts, we see clear expansion in buying volume. That surge suggests real demand entering the markets rather than weak breakout. When you combine a clean structural breakout with increasing volume, the probability of continuation increases significantly. Now the second and more conservative way to trade an ascending triangle is to wait for retest. In the previous example, we entered right after a strong bullish candle closed above resistance. That captures momentum early, but some traders prefer additional confirmation. Looking at the silver charts, we see the same structure. Price repeatedly tests the $26 resistance, while the pullback forms higher lows, creating a rising trend line underneath. Eventually, price breaks above the resistance with strong momentum. But instead of chasing the breakouts, the safer approach is to wait for price to come back and retest the level. What was once resistance often turns into new supports. Once buyers step in and level holds, that gives traders a cleaner entry, with invalidation typically placed below the retest low. From there, we use the same concept as before, measuring the height of the triangle and projecting it upward from the breakout level to estimate the measured move targets. The breakout shows strength, but the retest shows acceptance above the level, which is why many traders prefer this approach. If you're enjoying this breakdown so far, drop a like and hit subscribe. It genuinely helps us keep putting out free contents like this. Now moving on to the next section. One important thing to understand is that ascending triangles don't only work as continuation patterns during uptrends. They can also form as reversal pattern. There are cases where market is coming from a bearish direction, but instead of continuing lower, price begins forming higher lows, once again showing us that buyers are gradually stepping in and absorbing selling pressure. At the same time, price keeps getting rejected at a clear horizontal resistance level. This creates the same familiar structure: rising supports underneath, flat resistance above. Eventually, when price breaks above that resistance, it often signals the market is shifting from downtrend into a new uptrend. And we can see that happening in this example on Solana. Here, price had been trading sideways after a prior drop, but buyers slowly began stepping in, creating a series of higher lows, while resistance around $160 level kept capping price. Once that resistance finally breaks, the structure flips from consolidation into a strong bullish move, confirming the reversal. With that being said, it's important to remember that no chart pattern works 100% of the time. What I'm about to show you next is an example of an ascending triangle that ultimately failed, and more importantly, how we can avoid putting ourselves in this situation. At first glance, this looks like typical ascending triangle. Price forms clear horizontal resistance, while pullbacks create series of higher lows, forming rising trendline underneath. Eventually, price breaks above that resistance with strong momentum, which under normal circumstances would signal a bullish continuation. But instead of continuing higher, price quickly loses momentum and falls back below the breakout level, turning the breakout into what we call a failed breakout. And this is where higher timeframe context becomes extremely important. If we zoom out to the higher time frame, we can see that this entire structure was actually forming right below the previous all-time high. When price is pushing into a major level like an all-time high, there is often significant supply sitting in this area. Even if a bullish pattern forms, the market may still struggle to break through such a strong level. Instead of continuing higher, price rejected the level and dropped to lower to fill the fair value gap below, before eventually recovering and pushing towards new highs later. The key takeaway here is that pattern recognition works best when combined with market context. By paying attention to higher timeframe levels like all-time highs, major resistance, or supply zone, we can better understand when a breakout has higher probability of succeeding. When structure and context align, that's when these patterns become much more powerful trading opportunities. If you enjoy clean, structured trading education like this, consider subscribing for more chart breakdowns. In the next video, we'll break down the descending triangle, which works in the opposite direction and often signals bearish continuation. I'll see you in the next one.